Hey everybody, it is Friday. Holy cow, August the 5th, 2022. Nothing will make you feel like summer goes by too fast than losing your entire mid-June to mid-July with a simultaneous Salmonella Campylobacter infection, and then also then taking a vacation for a week, admittedly, and getting some beautiful hot summer sun in Ketchikan, Alaska, followed by colonoscopy preparation and then the colonoscopy procedure, of course. I got it, and it hurts a little bit. I'm trying not to get too beaten down over it, but it hurts a little bit, okay? Because all this winter, I was like, oh man, I can't wait for the summer. 1 week before summer hits, little raw chicken is like, we're about to ruin this man's whole holiday. It didn't really ruin my holiday. It's just kind of, I mean, I feel like I didn't have that much, I just got a little less walking in Pokemon Go June, July than I would have thought. That's the thing. That's the only, I'm not actually upset about it, really. Don't worry, global warming will make it warm for longer. No, here's the thing. If you know science, north of us in BC are icebergs and glaciers. So as those melt, those are cold, and then they're going to melt down to Vancouver, and we're going to get suffused with like cool water. It's going to become much more mild down here. In fact, we might even be chilling a little bit. Why do you think I'm using those plastic straws? We're going to drown? No, dude, because like it happens pretty slowly. All you got to do is move yourself. Like if you could get 0.25 centimeters taller every year as an adult, you'll keep your nose above the water. Now, the easy part is just perpetually getting a little bit taller every year until you die. The hard part is making sure that your house moves up by that much too, so you're not swimming. The easy part is, and yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. Probably, if we're lucky, the big one will hit before then. Anyway, maybe we'll have rising sea levels, but then the big one will hit Vancouver, and it'll swallow up all that water like a big drain, like. And then we'll save the rest of the world. It'll be like, oh, rising sea levels? Just kidding. We sucked all that water down to the core somehow. I can't make this sound again. I was worried I was going to pull a muscle in my larynx. What's your 20-minute Peloton PB? This may sound ridiculous to you. I've never done a 20-minute ride on the Peloton. I've done like 215 30-minute rides. And I've done like 15 10-minute rides. I've never touched a 20-minute ride. It seems like an awkward amount of time for me. You really think I'm going to get all sweaty for 20 minutes of exercise? Nah, man. 30 minutes of exercise. 8-minute abs? What are you talking about? Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. It's Mother Hubbard and her seven kids all enjoying living in the shoe, you know? What do the scores mean in a Peloton ride? Okay, so your output is not a score like an Orange Theory splat score or whatever the heck it's called. It's your output in kilojoules. I don't really understand what that means. But like, you know, when you ride your bike, you create power, and that turns into energy or force or something. I don't know. What's a Newton? It's a kilojoule per foot or something? Delusional take? It's not a delusional take. This is the objective truth. Please do not talk about fig Newtons. Are you 97 years old? Who would create such a dated reference? What's your 30-minute PB? I don't want to brag. It's either 380 or 384. From November to June, I was pogging. And then in June, I had the food poisoning and the colonoscopy, and that sapped my strength for a little bit. And then when I came back, I was having a lot of rides in like the 260s and 270s that I felt like I was dying during, which made me think that maybe some irreparable harm had come to my body as a result of the infection. But ever since coming back from vacation, we started in like the 300 range, and now today I did 349, I think, and I was feeling pretty good. It's going to take a bit for us to get back to those three. I'm hoping I can PB again by the end of the year. Jay, don't insult me, okay? I keep getting stun locked here. I would never Peloton with the Tommy Bahama shirt on. It's a ridiculous statement. You know how much money this shirt cost? Hawaiian shirts are not designed to be sweated in. It's a great shirt for taking it easy. I was wearing my own merch, actually. I have some athletic shirts, but at the same time, I needed to do some laundry. So instead, I was like, oh, what shirt can I wear that would stand up to the rigors of a 30-minute cardiovascular exercise endeavor? And I said, you know what? Northernlion Season 1 merch. Who buttons the top button? Here's the thing, dummy, bozo. If you saw what socks I was wearing, you would understand what kind of vibe I'm going for right now, okay? I'm not going for a slothful, lecherous Hawaiian shirt, Dennis Nedry, Jurassic Park style drip. I'm going for a pseudo-ironic, tall socks that say someone who loves me very much bought me these socks in Alaska. They've got a moose, an eagle, an orca, and a Siberian husky on the sock, okay? So that's why I'm doing the top button up to the very top, okay? It's because I'm dripped out. If I was going to a casino to get thirds at the buffet, I would undo the top button, okay? If I was wearing gray Tommy Hilfiger socks that I bought in an 8-pack at Sears in 2008 before they declared liquidation, then I would undo the top button, okay? If I was going to say something ridiculous like, yeah, I'll take another Coors Light, then I would undo the top button, okay? But some of us have higher standards, and that's why the button stays taut. From watching Bear play it, I thought this dude was following my mouse. You know what? As long as I match his actions exactly. Dude, it follows your mouse. They thought of everything. Anyway, sorry. I think I might have adult ADHD. I'm going to start the video with that revelation and take the focus off of the game and onto myself again. I have previously said that I don't think I have it. I think sometimes I'm just lazy when it comes to doing administrative tasks. But then I saw a tweet from someone that was like, I got diagnosed with adult ADHD. My therapist or psychiatrist said that one of the key factors was I do work for people, and then invoicing them seems like too much of a hurdle, so I contemplate simply never invoicing them and just counting the work as being done for free. And I was like, oh yeah, 100%. That's I contemplate that literally every single time. I'm like, oh man, what, 4 clicks to send an invoice and get paid for the work that I've done? I don't know. People are saying that's normal. I don't know. Maybe everybody has ADHD. You ever think about that? Dude, they keep saying Bishop. It's got me craving some chess. I'm not gonna lie, I should say. I'm not gonna deny it. Also, I don't know exactly how chess.com calculates this. I played a game yesterday that's gonna go on YouTube soon. I had like 97.1% accuracy. Honest question. If I played that well against Magnus Carlsen, who would win? Because, like, I was batting 97. Magnus would win? Well, what's his score then? Because I was at 97. It would be a draw? What if I had the white pieces? Magnus has 97.7. That's why he's the GOAT, man. Okay, could I beat Anish Giri? Or Gary Kasparov, you know, somebody who's in that second tier of chess legend? No? 100%? Not on an average game. That's ridiculous. That would be full of hubris. But if my opponent was a grandmaster on the game where I played 97, how can they beat me? There's only a 3% window. I guess they could play better moves than my 1350 opponent did. But what are the odds of that? 100? 100%? Okay, fair. I don't like berries anyway. That's not true. I love them. Is it okay? Are berry farmers lazy, or is it actually impossible to create a batch of berries you buy at the grocery store that doesn't contain one rotten one directly in the middle of the carton? Like, you know, sometimes you'll go to like a Magic store, like a Magic the Gathering card shop, and they'll have like clear packs that have a rare on the outside, and they'll be like, hey, For $1, you can buy this pack. Nobody knows what's inside of it, but look, there's a rare on the outside. And you're like, oh shit, like that rare is already worth 10 cents. All I need is another 90 cents. And then you open the rest of the pack and it's basic lands and shit commons. That's how I feel when I buy strawberries at the grocery store, man. Top of it, beautiful, dark red, juicy strawberries, uniform shape. You get one layer down, there's like one cloudy, dusty, white strawberry just infecting all the other ones around it. Whatever, I'll eat them anyway. Maybe that's why I got food poisoning. Or, you know, you get the blueberries, the top layer is that, like, beautiful viridian color. Then the bottom layer... I gotta stop taking damage, man. The bottom layer is, like, bright purple, and you're like, those berries were not ready for prime time. Like, I feel like at the farm, they sort them. They're like good berries, bad berries, middle berries, and then they fill the bottom with bad berries, and they fill the middle with mid berries, and they fill, like, just one thin layer on the top of, like, good berries. White strawberries are so yummy. I like that they kind of taste a little bit like cheese. Then collect the devotion your followers generate to unlock divine inspiration. Hopefully this one's not ass. Hot Jul. That sounds like something that Gen Z says to one another when they pass themselves in the high school halls. Gain 10 faith when falling ill. I'm choosing not to read any further into that, and I'm saying, you know what? Cool guy. I'll have you know, not all Gen Zs are high schoolers. Oh, if you'll excuse me, I need to collect some more. Not all Gen Zs are high schoolers. I just graduated with a bachelor's degree in economics. What's your view on the macro right now? Do you believe that all customers pay what they consider to be the maximum price for a good? Or do you think that sometimes people just go to the store and are like, that looks tasty. I'm so potato chip pilled right now. I'll pay a little extra for it just to get it yummy, yummy in my tummy. The second one. Anyone buy the Humble potato chip? It's a Canadian-only brand. Here's my review. I buy it from time to time. I do not recommend. The website says nothing about the flavor of the potato chip. It says it only talks about the compostable bag that it's served in. The Humble... And I eat them from time to time just because I'm in the store and I see them and I'm like, ooh, dill pickle flavor. But... They come pre-stale. I think that I realized that actually probably the bag is so permeable that they stale up before they even make it to the damn grocery store. They're like a Lay's potato chip. If you want to figure out what a Humble potato chip tastes like, I apologize for the review here of a Canadian company. Open a bag of Lay's potato chips. Don't close it at all. Just let it sit open on the counter for 24 hours and then eat one. That's what the Humble potato chips taste like. But the bag is compostable at an industrial composting facility in 18 to 24 months. What's your opinion on wood flavored? What's your opinion on pickle flavored potato chips? Very for them. That top 3 flavor, in my opinion. Dill pickle and salt and vinegar, they're kind of like two sides of the same coin. I like them both. I prefer the dill pickle. Favorite Miss Vicky's? I gotta go jalapeno. Jalapenos, green bag. Sea salt and malt vinegar, blue bag. And then maybe... what's the, like, sour cream and chili pepper? I'll call that the third one. I haven't had spicy dill pickle. I haven't had spicy ketchup yet. Goated top 3, let's go. People agreeing with me on a food take is more likely than you think. What are your thoughts on kettle cooked chips? Look, okay, like I like Miss Vicky's chips a lot. I think they're a great one. Though I know they're really popular. This is not going to be a +2 take, but the actual Kettle brand, I find them like too oily and greasy. Like they taste pretty good for a bit, and then like they make my tummy feel weird after I eat like less than I want to eat. +2, so based. Holy cow! I had the same take like 4 years ago. People were like, "Shut up! It's the best potato chip ever made." Society, you know what they say? Geddy Lee was right, man, when he said changes aren't permanent, but changes. The only thing that stays the same is that everything changes. I saw Malf talk about hard bite. I've eaten some hard bite potato chips. I didn't dislike them. I guess, I don't know, when I was eating them, I was like, I feel like hard bites kind of been shrinkflations. Like, whenever I buy a bag of them, I'm like, holy cow, this single serving bag is only like 99 cents. But then I open it up and there's like 4 chips inside. And I'm like, oh, come on, man, I need more jalapenos than this. My wife makes me buy plain Lay's. It's not a bad chip, but I mean, if you're eating enough potato chips that you default to plain Lay's, then I would be like, maybe eat less potato chips and get a more adventurous flavor. This is when Chad +2s me, or like I say, like, I don't like landlords, and then everyone in chat is like, based. It's the same. Oh, whoops, I've already preached a sermon today, sorry. It's the same feeling. If you are to guide your cult, you will need to declare doctrines, so they might obey you. It's Frostpunk. Return to the lands of the old faith and seek out commandment stone fragments. With these, you will be able to declare new doctrines. Hey, what do you think is the most based of the 10 commandments? By the way, you can't say none, because like some of them are pretty good. Thou shalt not kill, that's a really solid one. In principle, I agree with that. In general, I'm sure there's edge cases. My least favorite commandment, thou shalt behold no false idols before me. That one, I'm like, come on, man. That, like, you're setting yourself up for failure if you expect someone to adhere to that for their entire life. To have no false idols before you. Influencer take. You know what? True. You have found enough fragments to form a commandment stone. Commandment stones are used to declare new doctrines for your cult to follow. Use the altar in your temple to declare a new doctrine whenever you form a new commandment stone. Dude, I get to make my own commandment? Doubt. Better fart, girl boss. What's your favorite of the 10 commandments? We did the bit already, but I'm glad that, you know, great minds think alike. My favorite is thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's donkey or wife. Or in the case of my neighbor, what's the difference? Boo! At this channel, we respect women. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Jesse, thou shalt not cook meat without safety glasses. Jesse, thou shalt not put chili pea in Gustavo Fring's crystal methamphetamine order. Jesse! Okay, so every time we come back to the base, I gotta talk to all my followers? Every single one? That's what I just did at the sermon. Can't I just do it all at once? There should be like, there should be a hotkey for this. You should just be able to give the blessing immediately. Oh, it's so hard for me to talk to my followers. Okay, I get it. Very funny. But there should be like an AoE blessing, in my opinion. Oh, dude, you're so loyal. Guess what? Because you're already loyal, I'm gonna give you a damn gift. Enjoy an unnaturally long lifespan, bitch. Do I have enough wood now? I do have enough wood now. I have the perfect amount. Here's the wood you asked for, Sag. Sure, the floor is fine, Sag. No problem. I'll build it myself. Yeah, it's okay. Just poop on the ground anywhere. I'll handle it. I'm not the cult leader or anything. See, everybody can Sag their own life, okay? You just make it seem as sad as possible and then add Sag to it. People get sympathy for you. These guys worship you, but you have to clean their poop, make it make sense. It's simple. They're cats. So true. So people love the cat humor, man. You honor me, great leader. I'm eternally grateful. All I did was clean up some poop. It's not that big of a deal. Owns. Okay, one hit KOs, but enemies do double damage. Be afraid. What the hell? Is the greatest room I've ever seen? We even got a stone candle. We even got 10% chance to deal a critical hit. Streamer room. No, guys, this is the room they put in for the games journalists. Classic little joke. Fishing minigame. I'm making the joke self-aware, by the way. I'd like to apologize. I was only making the joke to fit in with my audience. I don't actually believe what I said. I have no principles. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. Everybody loves seeing you in the cruise vlogs. Hi.
We're matching.
Yeah, we got a little mommy baby matching today. No? Mommy's right there. Can you say hi, chat? You know, someone in chat today said, I think that Luna might be the smartest baby of all time.
Yeah.
Because she talks like in full sentences.
Yeah. Oh! She unzipping me. She unzipping me on stream.
Okay. You can move out of the camera frame. It's always been my worst nightmare is that you're gonna come in with the baby and the baby's just gonna like pull her shirt up to her over her head. That or hey, check out this package we got with our address on full display. It haunts my dreams. It's the principal source of my anxiety. I'm not Ed Sheeran pilled. I don't like any of the Ed Sheeran songs I've heard. No offense to Ed Sheeran fans. If I had to say, the worst one is definitely Galway Girl. I hate any, and I only care about your thoughts on this if you're from a country that makes legitimate like fiddle music. I hate when somebody just throws a fiddle into a song and is like, guess what, bitch, it's Irish now. I'm like, you're not Irish. You're just a guy from Middlesbrough, probably. I don't like when that happens. And then people that live on the northeast coast of the United States are like, oh, I love Irish music. Like Ed Sheeran's Galway Girl. Shit just kind of annoys me. It's not that big of a deal. And then I'm trying to figure out what else is, what other songs he has. The one where he's like, the house upon the hill or something. That one, I'm like, I understand that's kind of John Mayer's, I wanna run through the halls of my high school. I don't necessarily think that song's horrible, but I don't really vibe with it because I graduated from high school way before it came out. And then don't even get me started on The Shape of You. Everything's covered in something brand new. I don't respect it. And the only other song of his that I think I know is the one from Sesame Street, which I said I think he phoned it in. I mean, I think he can sing well. His songwriting I don't care for. I'm not mad, but the game is clearly not built for somebody that spent 3,500 hours playing The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, okay? I'm ready to take it to the next level. The reviews said normal's a little too easy. Are you trying to insult me? This is on hard. I'm simply so good at video games that I make hard look like it's normal. Get smashed. If you put it on very hard, the cult management gets out of hand. It's true. I'm not sure how good I would be at the cult management aspect. Once I see triple digits, I start to feel happy. Leshy fell before you like a grain of sand before a tidal wave. Thank you. It's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. What is a shepherd without a flock? That meeting could have been an email. You know what? +2. Hey! Check it out, dude! You thought they were pogging before. They're starting to believe I could actually do this shit. Feast or fast? Perform a ritual at your temple to declare a fast. Followers will not eat or be hungry for 3 days. Or feast. Throw a feast for your followers to refill their hunger and gain 25 faith. Dude, we're fasting, for sure. 3-day fast? Somewhere my gastroenterologist just smiled. I will say after doing my colonoscopy prep, I don't understand. Well, I guess I'll eat this then. I don't understand why people do a cleanse that takes like 3 weeks of just drinking like lemon juice with black pepper in it. Like, why don't you just go to the pharmacy and buy the laxative and you could be done in like 12 hours? Like, I don't think that has any merit either way. But like, if you're gonna do it, why take 3 weeks to do it when you could do it in like, 6 hours? Because it's extremely painful for you. For me, it was Wednesday. Does it not hurt to shit your guts out for 12 hours? People are actually like so dramatic. It wasn't that big of a deal. You just poop. Like, you've been doing it probably every day since you've been alive. People are dramatic, and yet you keep saying you almost died? That's not dramatic. People in the West just don't think it's normal for a 33-year-old man to get an infection so badly that it could have killed him. But my blood was infected with the bacteria. People just, they don't want to believe it. If I could have given you my legs for a couple of days, you would have been like, you know what? He was closer to death than ever before in his life. I did hear that the hotness for avocado toast is to add everything bagel seasoning. Or if you're lucky enough to have access to a Trader Joe's, everything but the bagel. Access to a Trader Joe's. Please stop coming to Bellingham. Oh, don't worry. I only pass through to drive like an asshole, apparently. Buy all of the milk that should only be reserved for Bellingham customers, apparently. Apparently that milk's only for people that are citizens of the city of Bellingham. And then make fun of Bellis Fair Mall. And talk shit about the University of Western Washington. Otherwise, I'm in and out as quickly as possible. You can catch me spending the money I would have spent in Bellingham in Mount Vernon instead. Canadians will literally buy tons of milk and then resell it for profit because of their milk taxes. What are you talking about? You gotta stop listening to, like, whoever told you the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm sorry. Hold on. What you just said is so stupid. No offense, of course. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm simply calling the idea that you espoused stupid. What you have just said is so stupid it almost killed me. In the game. You think Canadians are driving up to Bellingham with the price of gas being what it is? Buying a ton of your Bellingham, your superior Bellingham dairy and then reselling it for profit because of our milk taxes? Hold on, it's officially sicko mode hours. Get on. I wouldn't be surprised. Ah, yes, the mark of something that definitely happens. Would you be surprised if it happened or not? People will be like, I know it doesn't happen, but I could see it. That's like me saying Americans will literally steal a bunch of gold bars from an airplane, open the hatch mid-flight, jump out, and never be seen again. Nah, dude, that's one guy. That's D.B. Cooper. You can't judge the whole country based on D.B. Cooper. There's lots of other very prominent Americans worthy of judgment that you can use to base your opinions of the entire country on it. Hello. You made a watch together?
Yeah.
Look at this.
In a show?
Can you show the camera? Just put your arm like this. Well, you got a little bracelet on that one.
You see the yellow one?
No, like this.
You don't like this? Hi, Chad. This is Hi, Chad.
Hi, Ted.
How are you?
Hi, Ted.
What's the weather today?
It was a little windy, but
Little
it was very
windy.
nice, right?
What's a cloudy?
Little cloudy today?
Oh my goodness, you got like so much hair on your glasses.
Hello. What are those?
Helmet.
Helmet?
No.
Headphones?
Here.
Yeah.
Watchy.
They're scratchy. Yeah, they got a little scratchy texture.
Here.
Like
Yeah,
that.
they go on your ears. Scratchy, scratchy, scratchy. You're knocking on my head to see if I'm ripe? Hello?
That's nice.
Yes, the TV. We made the watch, and then the first thing she said was, "Show it to Daddy."
Oh,
Which one?
that's
Yeah.
such a cool watch, honey.
Which one?
It's 3 p.m.
This
What's this one? Okay, she loves to do this. That's Clank. Can you point to Captain Sonar? It's up there? Can you point to Mysterium? It's hard to verify, but she's doing it. Yeah, it's down there. Mysterium's down there. That one's called Route. Tokyo Highway. We could do this for hours.
Dominion.
Dominion.
Root.
I had a different voice for every board game. But then sometimes she points to Austin Powers, and I'm like, Austin Powers. The Austin Powers collectible card game. Sherlock Holmes, consulting detective. A true believer. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, honey. You took the daddy. You took daddy and angry daddy? Are you gonna watch Prey? I would love to watch Prey. It's coming to Disney Plus. It seems like a cool movie. The reviews are really good. Also, I loved Dan Trachtenberg's last movie. You're gonna be like, what is it? Before I tell you, just know that I know you love it too. It's 10 Cloverfield Lane. It's on Hulu. Okay, in Canada, that's usually a Disney Plus. I think it's a Disney Plus. And the reviews are really good. It seems like a cool movie. Maybe I will find the time to watch it. It must drop like today or tomorrow, right? And the rest of my sentence, okay. I know. Watch The Bear. Keep calm and watch The Bear on Hulu. Season 1 just finished, I think. It's got the kid from Shameless in it. He plays someone with a very Chicagoan name. I'm going to assume he plays Paulie. Yeah, I'm not in the list of top 100 celebrities based on private jet flights, okay? I've never taken a... Don't even talk to me about a private jet. I've never even been on a chartered flight. The only time I've ever flown in my life has been commercial. Every single flight has been economy, except one time we used points to fly first class to San Jose for TwitchCon. It wasn't just first class either. It was like seat 1A and 1B. Oh, man. And then all the affiliates got on the plane. I just put my hat down like this. And I made it look like I was reading Fortune magazine. Wasn't paying attention, but I was paying attention. I'm just joking. But it was seat 1A, 1B. I don't even know, like, I think... I can't remember if I said this to Ludwig or I just thought about saying it to Ludwig. But I know he has that video where Mr. Beast called him and was like, hey, we're sending a private jet to pick you up to be a part of our event. And then he has some shots from inside of the private jet. I don't know if I would get on a private jet. Knowing the air safety track record that, like, commercial airlines have versus, like, private flights... You could catch me flying United, man. Don't get me wrong, it's probably really, really convenient, but I also don't want to die in like a private jet crash because my pilot had like 2 IPAs at lunch because he's not ruled by the commercial pilots union or something, you know? Alaskan Air for life? Yeah, I mean, Alaskan Air is pretty good. It'd be cool if they like flew to places that were not just like in the American West. I've flown Alaskan Air a couple times. Like, don't they don't even have any like 737s or anything, right? They're all like the twin turbo props. It's not a knock. Like, I like what they, every time I've flown Alaska, I've been like, that was nice. But then sometimes you're like, you know, I want to fly from Vancouver to Tokyo, and you're like, well, I guess they don't serve that route. I watched an interview with John Carmack. He says he has 8 Diet Cokes a day. I'm sure, I mean, Diet Coke drinkers are like fiends, man. I say that as somebody who, like, I'll drink a Diet Coke. I'll drink a Coke Zero. I lived again. Like, there were times when like we would go out to a restaurant, and the only thing I was looking forward to eating was drinking the Diet Coke that they served me. And the food was good, but I was like, man, I need the Diet Coke, like, stat. No! No! Okay. I actually hit someone who gave up midair. No, I'm not gonna stay. Are you crazy? You think I'm Lisa Loeb? No, we did not qualify from tiptoe. Caffeine's not as bad as alcohol. I mean, definitely true. I also, people always say stuff like, oh, that's, oh, caffeine and the Diet Coke. If you compare, like, a Diet Coke to, like, a Starbucks Grande Pike Roast, just a cup of coffee, you need to drink, like, 12 Diet Cokes to equal the amount of caffeine in a cup of coffee. The sugar must be worse? Well, there's no sugar in Diet Coke. In some ways. There's aspartame, which people said in a study 47 years ago caused cancer in one mouse. No, I've never looked at the study itself, but I've heard it a lot from morning radio DJs and like my uncle, and every time you're at dinner with somebody and somebody gets a Coke and somebody else gets a Diet Coke, they're like, aren't you worried about aspartame? That way in a study once, I heard it on the radio. Sources say, you know, they did an experiment once, and don't even get me started on MSG, man. I'm glad the MSG train has finally come around. I grew up in a city where like every Chinese restaurant advertised that they don't use MSG because people tricked themselves into thinking that MSG was like bad for them. Some people may genuinely have an allergy. I'm not speaking about you. I'm speaking about the people who tricked themselves into thinking that they had an allergy. Then in university, one of my housemates was Chinese, and he bought MSG, like, at the grocery store. And I was like, are you worried about, like, oh, like, headaches or whatever? And he was like, that's a myth. And then he cooked me some food with MSG in it, and I was like, this shit is delicious. It's actually just, like, better salt. And then, when I went back to my hometown and looked at all those Chinese restaurants that had, like, big neon signs that say no MSG, I'm like, well, I'm not eating there then. It's like a restaurant advertising like no salt. We don't use salt in our meals. Okay. Now pick a chain that we can make fun of. All right, I get it. You're Tim Hortons. I could have told you that from the sign. Tim Hortons. Carmi puts MSG in his Italian beef sandwiches. Carmi must be from the show The Bear on Hulu. Is this correct? That's correct. He's the main character. You've watched it? No, I just inferred from the Italian beef comment. Why is Tim Hortons coffee so ass now? I feel bad, dude, because there's one guy who replied to me on Twitter who's like, hey, I heard your Tim Hortons take. Me and my family own like 4 locations in Victoria, and I'd love to prove you wrong. I was just like, come on, man. The only way you're going to, not to be rude, the only way you're going to prove me wrong, at least in my own head, is by serving some shit that is on the secret menu at Tim Hortons. You're like, make the sandwiches, but not with like, you know, the worst cut of steak that you could possibly get, and actually have someone who cares, like, man the panini press instead of just like shoving a bunch of like coagulated goo into the bag instead. I'm not trying to say like I wish that you and your family lose your Tim Hortons franchises at all, because then you'd lose your ability to have discretionary income for things like Twitch subscriptions. However, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I feel like, okay, I'm dead. I feel like even if I owned like a Subway franchise, if someone said, hey, NL, Subway is ass, I'd be like, that's very true. That's absolutely correct. I can't really argue that it's not ass. Can I tell you though, I'm coming to bat for Subway just a little bit more. A foot-long sandwich is more expensive than it's ever been. I don't know, in Canada, it's probably like, by the time you get out of there, even no chips, no drink, I think you're looking at like an $11, $12 foot-long sandwich, depending on what you order. I ordered someone said you should support local businesses. I said, you know what? That's absolutely true. I ordered a sandwich from a local business. I went to pick it up. It came to, with a 15% tip, it came to $15.91. When I got there and got the sandwich, it was about that big. And they had the audacity to cut it in half. I don't have this moment. Oh, by the way, start a prediction. I don't have this moment often, but I was like, I'm never going to this business ever again. Like you've lost a customer for life. It's like an amuse-bouche sandwich that costs as much as a Subway footlong. So you know what I did the next day? I'm so sorry. There's 11 seconds left in the casino. I delete and I return the points. Oh man. I'm not saying that means all local businesses like are inferior to Subway. I'm just saying like this local business, I was like, damn. No one's ever gonna buy 2 sandwiches here, I'll tell you that. How was the sandwich? It was like moderately tasty. It was not delicious in proportion to its diminutive size. So Monday, I ate at Subway. Tuesday, I said I'm gonna get a sandwich from this local joint. Wednesday, I went back to Subway. Or vice versa. Sorry, there's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but still. Are you eating the Subway like daily? No, like twice weekly, I would say, on average. It's not every other day. I would, are you kidding? I would never eat Subway willfully on a weekend. I got a lot more time. That's so much. What the fuck? Hey, buy a Peloton. I'll DM you my username. I don't want a bunch of bozos following me, challenging me to 30-minute red Taylor Swift version rides, and we'll see who's got a better output right now. We'll see how much the sandwiches are slowing me down and how much your superior diet's helping you get ahead. 1v1 me mid on Peloton. How are you going to cope with losing? I don't think I'm going to lose. Most rides, I'm top 5%, and that's against people who are already on the Peloton. Okay, maybe top 10%. Occasionally, there's an exceptional performance. Top 5 is a bit of an exaggeration. It's more of a spiritual health concern. Okay, that's fair. I don't know where my spiritual health is at. I haven't watched Long Island Medium recently. Should people on the Peloton are like 85? Young people always do this, and I don't count myself in this because I'm about to make a value judgment on your character. They're always like, me, a 22-year-old guy who doesn't exercise versus a 55-year-old bodybuilder. Have you considered that the 55-year-old bodybuilder would get his ass kicked by me because I'm young and 6 centimeters taller? No, dude, you get your ass beat. Like the human body, it does fall apart as you get older. Don't get me wrong. But you'll see people do that like online. They'll be like, who would win in a fight? A 30-year-old or a 24-year-old? And they're like, well, the 24-year-old's younger. And you're like, what are you talking about? They're the same age. The fall off, I mean, look, you can see it in like professional sports. In the NHL, you peak at like 24 to 29. Other leagues, I'm sure, is different, or it might be different, I should say. But like, in terms of like normies, come on. Like, obviously, who's going to win in a fight? Mike Tyson at 19 or Mike Tyson at 60? Probably Mike Tyson at 19. Who's going to win in a fight? Joe from accounting, who doesn't work out. And Bill from Human Resources, who does yoga 2x weekly. I don't know. Who wants it more? Who's got the damn dog in him? When's the Peloton Battle Royale? Dude, it would be. They need more modes, for sure. I would love to 1v1 some 55-year-old lawyer from Kansas City. Just eke out enough to get like a 2 or 3 watt lead on him. And you know in their office they're going, and then they give it their all to get close, and then you find another gear, and you're like, that was the warm-up, buddy. Oh, man. Could you beat Tom Cruise? No, absolutely not. The man is, again, it's like the age thing. Is he 20 years older than me? Yeah, but he's also like 20 years stronger than me. You could totally beat Tom Cruise. You guys are idiots. What are you What makes you think I could beat Tom Cruise in a fight? I'm probably like 5 inches taller. I don't think at my level of like fight fitness, especially, that's gonna matter. Sure, I'm 20 years younger, maybe even like 23, 24. The dude is a roided up action star. I'm not saying he would beat, like Chris Evans in a fight or something like that, but I think he could definitely kick my ass. Not to mention he was in The Last Samurai. He's got weapons training. I think it makes no sense to say that I would kick Tom Cruise's ass. Like, there's not a single data point in my favor except age and maybe height. You kind of suck at hula hooping IRL. I'm not even mad. That's pretty true. I think it's one of those things. I get mad when people try to teach me how to hula hoop. Because people who know how to hula hoop don't know how to teach you how to hula hoop. They say something like, oh, just do it in rhythm. Like, that's not helpful. Just move your hips. It's not helpful. I need to watch like a video on how to hula hoop. But it's like whistling. Like, it's not fair. I'm an acceptable whistler, you know? I can go like, what do you want me to whistle? See, like there's some pitch to it. However, when people are like, how do you whistle? I'm like, I actually don't know. I just kind of like, I know how to do it, so I just do it. Yeah, it's the Frasier theme song. You got a problem? So when people say, oh, the hula hoop, you just move your hips with the hoop. I'm like, okay, well, thanks for nothing. Step 1, be 7 years old and have nothing else to do on a Sunday except practice whistling until eventually you get it. Step 2, stop right there, because I don't want you to be one of those people whose identity is that they can do the insanely loud whistle that annoys everyone around them. No offense if that's you in chat. I'm just saying what we're all thinking. It's like a car honking, but with your mouth. You should use it only sparingly. You shouldn't be so proud of yourself. I couldn't whistle until I was an adult. I spent the next month whistling like all the time. You know what? Every time I get annoyed by someone whistling in public, I'm just going to remember that story. And rather than be like, oh, this guy thinks that we all love hearing his like 2 semitone flat rendition of the Friends theme song. He thinks like, oh, it's just so good he has to share whatever song has been stuck in his head, but done like really shittily. I'm going to be like, you know what? That's someone who just learned how to whistle and they're just spreading the love right now. That'll help lower my blood pressure. There's always like some 62-year-old man in the grocery store though, while music is already playing, is like, Radiohead is not a BatChest, come on. Greta Van Fleet is a BatChest, okay? Radiohead's just a good band. BatChest is not just liking great things. It's when you like things that are mediocre to unremarkably good, like Marvel movies. I like the Marvel movies, so I'm putting myself in there. I'm making fun of myself. Like Radiohead? Radiohead is actually a great band though. They do not have one good album. That's just an insane take. They're not even like, I don't like Radiohead that much. I like them enough, but like, they got more than one good album. Like, don't be ridiculous. I mean, first, Pablo Honey. That's a gimme. It's got their best song on it. Radiohead or Rush? Well, I have to acknowledge that Rush has a worse catalog, but I'd rather listen to them. Yeah, I'd say a Caesar salad. I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch today, though, because I can't have Subway again. This is actually a true story. I've been, like, so I go to the Subway, like, twice a week. It's always the same worker. They cut their mustard, right? Like, they don't have yellow mustard anymore. But the guy clearly recognizes me, but pretends that he doesn't know me. Okay? Which is fair. That's normie. To pretend you don't know, like, a patron. It's not that kind of place. Anyway, so I went in Tuesday, and I said, oh, no yellow mustard? That's fine. I'll take smoky honey mustard. He put it on the sandwich. He was, in his head, I'm sure he was like, I already know what you're going to choose. Then, on Thursday, I was like, and then to finish, I'll take some smoky barbecue. And he just put on the honey mustard again. And I was like, you know what? I deserve that. I got mustard. Every other time I've seen this guy, I've gotten mustard. And then this time, I have the audacity to mix it up with a barbecue. Of course he's just going to put the mustard on the sandwich anyway. I wasn't even mad. Because in my head, I was like, oh, he saved me from myself. Maybe he knows that the barbecue sauce is shit. But I did think, I was like, what would the average person do? I would like to think that the average person would do what I did, which is say, that's perfect. But I bet there's some people out there that would have been like, I said smoky barbecue. I want you to remake the whole sandwich. And that scares me. Okay, that was not smart. We had such a good advantage. That wasn't the configuration of flavored salt and high fructose corn syrup that I requested. Bozo. Have you watched all 27 James Bond movies? Absolutely not. Here's my non-controversial James Bond take. Possibly one of the most overrated franchises in film. There's like a 50% chance that any given James Bond movie that comes out is worth watching. Some of them are really good. Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Thunderball, Goldfinger, GoldenEye, Casino Royale, Skyfall's pretty good. I heard No Time to Die is pretty good. But there's like a lot of them that are pure ass. Like almost all of the Pierce Brosnan movies, if you looked at it by runtime, are pure ass. GoldenEye is insanely good. The rest of them, well, like the next one is okay. Tomorrow Never Dies is like, it's watchable. The third one is horrendous. The World Is Not Enough. And the fourth one is easily one of the worst movies of the 2000s, Die Another Day. Casino Royale, worst of the Daniel Craig ones. What an insane opinion. Me liking Captain America, The Winter Soldier, doesn't make Quantum of Solace a good movie. Like, you have your correlation and causation all mixed up. If anything, it should tell you that it's okay to like bad movies. Have you watched all 8 episodes of The Bear? Come on, man. Not yet, not yet. Okay, I'll send you over to my wife's stream. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, in fact. I'll see you tomorrow. And by tomorrow, I mean Monday. I just really got to go pee. I'm just going to be honest with you. See you then. Little aerial mist for you. Look at this mist. Isn't it neat? Doesn't it make your uninstallation complete? Don't I look like the Pog who has everything? Sorry. What is it called? Javelin tackle. I want to yeet where the streamers are. I want to dolphin dive into tackle. Popping my ult when you do your, what is it called? Atomic punchline. Sorry. So, but I can't stop. I'm not gonna, just because I said sorry doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. Up where they pog, up where they stun, up where they spam mist all day for their fun. Wish I could